Hello there, here to do a video review of a release by Two People in a Room on Home Normal. We shall pop this on without further ado and then talk a little more about it. Well, as you see there, very minimalist artwork going on there. Gives you some idea of the sort of music that is involved. Which is in some ways minimalist, in other ways isn't. It's 5 tracks, which is called Side by Side, and 2 people in the room, as you can guess, are a duo, Renee Margraf and Michelle Hughes. It says here they use guitars, samples and processing. Now, this is their second release, and already they seem very masterful of sound and well accomplished. It's got a very strange nocturnal atmosphere to it. Were it possible to get decent video footage at night, I think I would have done, but instead I've come up here into the hills and mountains on the edge of a cliff to try and get a similar strange atmosphere. Let it resonate out through these strange bare woods. Now we'll skip further forwards just so you can get a bit more of a vibe. We'll go on to the second track, Crash Your Plane, Walk Away. A bit more of a sense of the guitar on this one. There's that wonderful, beautiful sense of desolation, like a big bleak moorland or a lunar landscape. Surrounded on the side of a cliff by a lot of dead bracken and leaves. It seems like a very logical soundtrack. Unfortunately, my player doesn't let me fast forward through actual songs. It'll only let me skip along, so I can't give you much of an idea of how these tracks progress, unfortunately. But I can show you how the album progresses instead. And we'll shoot along to the third track. Another curious title, particularly curious of all of them, Holiday on Air Force One. It's a complex album really in terms of mood as well as production. I can imagine that if you wanted to perceive it as dark you could do, whereas if you wanted to perceive it as light you could do. There's an ambiguity there that will probably be a decision will be made in the minds of the listener's mood rather than the musician's mood. They seem to play on that edge of that. Perhaps one member of the group's feeling one way, one's the other, I don't know. Maybe it's a perfectly balanced yin and yang situation with their moods. Information here is pretty minimal really. It mentions that they do have a Bandcamp site and a Tumblr page, which I'll pop links to down at the bottom of this feature, presuming of course that you are watching this feature here on Vossas Das. I host these videos on sites like YouTube and Vimeo to embed in Vossas Das's pages. That's where you need to go to get all the links, the info, the pictures of the artwork and close-up detail there, and you'll find lots more other articles. Lots that aren't video reviews are handwritten. I mention this because I do seem to find a lot of people seem to be viewing directly in YouTube rather than playing them on the page according to the YouTube stats. Alright, we'll move on to track 4, Shooting Blankets. It's one of those interesting albums that while it is all quite minimal and mellow, it's not background at all. I've not got this on a particularly big volume, but it already seems to sort of dominate the landscape around me. When you play it in the room, it will subtly fill that room. I'm not sure if this is an album that you could drift away with. There's such a sort of thick, heavy layer of drone across the top of it that you'd class it as mellow, but would you call it minimal? I know we did earlier, but there's something about this, it refuses to sit down and shut up, this album. It really does kind of leap up and get into your attention, no matter what you're doing. You're very aware of this one being on. Annoyingly, I can't show you how this track progresses, but hey, that's what buying albums is for, isn't it? I'm just here to give you a little bit of a sample there, and you've had over a minute of that one. So I'll take you to the final track. Been trying to meet you. With this one, with the guitar up there, I mean, it's brilliant. I would define it as psychedelic. I have a broad definition of that, broader than a lot of music snobs, but that kind of strange scorched guitar sound, it kind of exemplifies what Tuna Room are like. You'll find them lumped in with the ambient acts, but isn't ambient something supposed to be discreet that can be used as background music? That was some of the original definitions. I would argue that pieces of work like this have a abrasive quality to them. Certainly they defy terms like ambient. Like, what are these things at the end of the day? They're just kind of low terms and labels and stereotypes and boxes to push music in. Better we call this a work of sound and leave it at that. Except to mention that it's a hell of a good one. I mean, I hear a wide range of influences in here from many different genres. I hear them distilled into a very unique, vivid blend here. Definitely one of those albums that I'm playing a lot when I get the house to myself and the volume up loud.